You're absolutely right. Insightful points and pertinent points that you've raised there, General Meston. We're also learning of Srinagar tourists that are not being allowed to go towards South Kashmir and specifically Pahalgam, the most thronged place, as a precautionary measure. But, General Sivach, whilst we're talking about security agencies and their efficacy and ability to monitor and counter threats in areas that are specially frequented by tourists, but then again, these areas that are frequented by tourists are difficult to get access to quickly. That's a catch 22 situation. What kind of a challenge is that, and how do the security forces deal with it? Is it coordination with the local authorities and the people up there? There are several camps on these top reaches in Baisaran as well, where one of these visuals that we have had to blur out now, just to respect the dead and the injured. This is a catch 22. You have to counter the threats, but these areas are frequented by lots and lots of tourists, and it is difficult to get access to these areas.
Yeah, very correct. See, Kabir, first of all, we must see it that even the terrorists have not been hitting this area for last about 20 years because they know it that if they will hit the tourists, it will hit the local people and they will become very, very unpopular because after all, the economy is affected once you hit the tourist. Now, what has happened is that these tourists which have been either grievously injured or have been killed, it will send a very wrong message. The tourists which are there record time coming in Kashmir Valley and also in Amarnath Yatra bring lot of progress and development in Kashmir Valley. And there are people who are dependent on this only. Now, who are these people who have done it? Of course, the ISI would have gone it done. And how they would have done, these terrorists would have come in civil clothes, they would have been taken a lighter vehicle, in a smaller weapon, and they would have come very close, fired and gone. Very rightly brought out by you also and by Janna Matsin that since the tourism is so much there and a lot of tourists are there, it is not easy for to basically search each and every one. And you believe that everything is okay, but then such sort of thing can happen. Of course, there is an intelligence failure that need to be seen, but certainly what the terrorists do in summer in these areas, they go to the higher reaches. They go where there is a jungle, where there is heights, and they operate from there only. They don't come down because they don't want any lead to be given to security forces wherein they can be targeted. But at the same time, the security forces are now cordoning and searching as well as doing cordon search operation everywhere. We are utilizing drones, we are utilizing helicopters, and we have also special forces there in case such incident take place and these terrorists manage to go into the higher reaches. You should able to basically locate them and neutralize them. That will happen. But certainly, now this incident will send a very wrong message to the tourists. And very correctly appreciated, Pahalgam is a place which is very important from the tourist point of view in southern Kashmir, and it is on the hub center where the terrorists can even go toward Kiswad and also Doda after crossing Pir Panjal. Second thing is that Pahalgam is the place where Amarnath Yatra will start from 3rd July. And since this is the place where maximum tourists come for Amarnath Yatra, it will have adverse impact. And that's what was their aim.
All right.
And that possibly looks to be the aim of ISI. And I agree on General Matson one thing. Time has come now, we must pay and hit hard to the Pakistani. Why are we having a ceasefire? When the Pakistani are trying to bleed us with 1,000 cuts, they are still sending terrorists in south of Pir Panjal through Rajouri Punch. Every day we are hearing this incident. Why are we keeping quiet? We must hit those posts. I remember having commanded a brigade in Machal sector in Kupwara. We knew it in case any post which was helping the terrorists to infiltrate, we used to make sure that that post does not exist next day. So much heavy fire used to be brought. I think we have to change strategy. We may able to handle the situation here, but what about Pakistan? That is the place where we know where are their launch pads, where are their training area. We have got number of means now. We have a Rafale, we have a Scalp missile, we have drones. We can hit them hard. We should hit them hard. And in case if the post of Pakistani is trying to give a covering fire to these infiltrators and terrorists, we should able to hit them hard. And that's a requirement of the day because you cannot keep on losing your man. And the Jammu and Kashmir is totally peaceful today, especially in Kashmir Valley. People were so very happy, but such type of incident put you on a back foot, Kabir.
You know what, General Sivaj, we are also learning of this new latest information. We've received two fresh visuals. We'll try and edit them out and put them on air as well. But the victim here says that the terrorist killed them because they were not Muslim. Seems like the terrorist was checking the IDs of the tourists as well. I wanted to ask you whether this was a symbolic one-off attack, or do you think this is going to brew up into a big pattern before that July Amarnath Yatra is actually going to begin? There are no elections, thankfully, around this time of the year, which is why all the security forces can actually focus on, countering terrorism. But this latest aspect that we're now picking up about IDs being checked, of course, we still have to corroborate this. But if this is the case, what does this tell us?
Of course, this has to be seen. This has to be checked. They this can be a modus operandi as to try to show off that they are people from security forces, trying to know the identity of the tourist before attacking. That is possible, but that need to be seen. But one thing is very important. One must understand that whatever they have done they have done with the purpose that they want to hit the tourism. They want to hit to the common people. They want to now send a message that all is not well. And this will have adverse impact in the Kashmir Valley, and especially the tourists who are there. They bring a lot of development in this area. The economy is dependent on tourists, and if the tourists will not come, you will find that the local people will have a hard time. So ultimately, indirectly, they are hitting the local people. And that is where they will need to become more unpopular. And you will find it information flowing, real-time intelligence flowing regarding them. And this will happen in time to come. Kabir.